All right. I want to do Facebook Live, kind of a quick tip, what we're seeing going on in the market out there here in February. And, initially, here, I want to back up kind of where we're getting this information from. We're talking to over 100 dealerships across the country on a weekly basis. So we got a team of guys that we're doing weekly calls with our dealerships, going over inventory management and going over internet process management with these stores. And again, we're talking franchise, Highlines, independents. We're talking to them and knowing what they're going through, plus they're talking to other people. Hey, Mike, what's up, bud? Hey, Chad. And Mike, I'd like to get back with you guys. Hey, here's what's going on. Everybody's hitting a slow February. It's been really kind of a drop off, more than expected. It's a slow start, and everybody's feeling it. Again, it doesn't matter if it's our Highline store or independent dealer, and what region we're talking to. Plus, they're talking to their buddies, and they're slow too. And so, a couple things I was thinking about. This month started out with a weekend. You would think that would help. But that Friday, I know the stock market dropped like 600 points, and all the money that people earned in 2017 on the market went away going into that weekend. So that shook up some people, I think. Plus, you had the distraction of the Super Bowl and the hangover of the Super Bowl into the next week. And then this last week, the stock market's going up and down. And so I think you get a little bit of hesitancy. And you got these other things like taxes going on. So the other thing I'm noticing is we track inventory levels on sites like AutoTrader, Cars.com, see how many are in the market, 100-mile radiuses of our stores. And surprisingly, we're seeing a lot of the used car listings have been dropping off on these sites. Now, it could be a couple things, dealerships getting off those sites, but it's more, I don't think that's the case. I think it has to do with more of, if we go back to last year, tax season was kind of horrible. It wasn't the usual big rush of business. And last year, and it's happening this year, there was a delay in new and used, kind of both. Stephen, he's asking if it's new, used, or both, and I'm seeing it on both. Well, and I'm going to answer it too, Stephen, on internet stuff. But last year, tax season, there was a delay in tax returns, which are happening this year too. And it kind of stretched out the tax season last year. If you guys remember that, a lot of our dealerships were stuck with cars that they were hoping should have been gone by now. Even cheap stuff was sticking around. And so that tax return got spread out, and it's happening right now too. So what's going on is, and here's what I would encourage you with, you always got to do long-term follow-up processes. If you guys aren't doing 60, 90, 120 plus days, or what I say till they buy, die, or unsubscribe for your internet leads and your prospects, you want to call and email, because these people are shopping, and they're going to be not pulling their trigger till into February or March, or maybe even April when they get their tax returns. So right now, and this happened last year, and again, Stephen Hill, kind of going back to your new, used, or both, one of the things that we also track with our internet customers is, reply rates. So some of these CRMs like Vin Solutions, we could track how many emails we're sending and what's our replies, and we look at our reply percentages. And these stores, the processes have been the same for the last year or so. The email templates, nothing's changed on the subject lines, but this type of year, and it happened previous years and stuff, we get a lot of internet leads. We get some traffic, okay, but no one's really pulling the trigger. I was on a call today with a dealership looking at his inventory, and he had two cars back to back that we had customers on, and one of them was looking at multiple other customer came in on the car, and the notes said CRM, customer still shopping around. Another one was a young family, and they're not only looking at this Escape, they're looking at the Durango and the Hyundai Santa Fe or something. So you could see it in their leads. Customers are still shopping around. We see it in our emails. People are getting our leads and getting our emails, but our reply percentages have dropped off quite a bit. So the replies have, again, nothing's changed. Templates are the same, process, the timing's the same, subject line's the same over last year, but people replying to those emails. So we're sending the emails, the reply rates are dropping off, but then they'll pick back up, come into March and stuff as these people start getting back engaged. So, again, I would question the email templates and the reply rates if they dropped off, if it was something new or we mixed things up and that happened. But again, it's happened last year and this year. Mike's saying he's seen a lot of cross-brand shopping. more than normal over the last 60 days or so. So again, these people are out there, they're shopping, they're looking. Also, the other thing they're looking for is these 17s. Closing percentages could be pretty low on new cars. So one of the things we track on internet, and I'm kind of creeping this out a little bit, it's ahead, but we track how many leads are coming in with stock numbers. And we look at your internet leads, because think about it, the more the higher percentage of your new car leads coming on stock numbers, the higher your closing percentage should be. Okay, so for a dealer, I remember last month or 2 months ago, we had 48% of our new car internet leads had stock numbers on them, and our closing percentage was at the highest that we've had all year. Now, the last 2 months, the percentage of leads with stock numbers right now, February is at its lowest. It's in the 30s. So they're almost at 50%, high closing percentage. They're down in the 30s now. A couple things happening there. I think it's the 17 shoppers looking for these leftovers that aren't out there. So they're looking at some dealerships inventory, looking at whatever, black on black lariat, I always say that, sunroof, and they can't find the 17. So then they go to Ford Direct or whatever and build up their imaginary truck, and they submit it to 5 dealers. So we get all these leads, okay, and we can't close those deals because we don't have the 17s. So that's happening too. So these customers, they're either going to have to give up on buying a 17, eventually switch to an 18, find that diamond in the rough. So long story short, internet leads, follow up. Any leads you got January, February, even December, November, December, January, do 60, 70, 90, 120-day follow-ups at least, or like I said, till they buy, die, or unsubscribe. Keep following up with these customers. It's kind of this February wall where, man, we're seeing people, Jake saying the same thing, seeing the same thing. A lot of people are shopping and waiting. So don't give up on, a lot of internet departments give up on leads in 2 weeks, 30 days, moving them to loss too soon. So keep on a trucking. Oh, the other thing we're seeing is used cars, especially, and I'm seeing it new, but mostly used, is cars or price drops are happening a lot quicker. Cars that, and more than usual. So cars that were priced at 97% last week were 99% now. So we're dropping these cars $500, and all we're doing is really putting us back to where we were last week just to keep up with the market. So any of you guys chime in on that. If you guys are seeing the same thing, we're seeing new or used car pricing. If we're at 99, 97% last week went out, our 97 turns into 99, we're readjusting. So not only, again, inventory levels are dropping off. I think dealerships across the board are kind of, usually this time of year, dealerships would be stacking up for tax season. Inventory levels are lower than we've seen in most markets because we track that. And so dealerships are getting soft, but they're also getting aggressive on their pricing because what's going on, Tim? Because they maybe bought some inventory December, January, getting ready for tax season, and these cars are now turning 60, 90 days old. So they're dropping these prices, and dealerships are getting aggressive on pricing. So recap, this February wall, as these shoppers are coming out to the market, some of them are looking for 17s. They can't find them. A lot of them are waiting for their tax return. Okay, we're seeing a drop-off in inventory levels on used, but we're also seeing not necessarily individual dealers are dropping their inventory levels. When we go to a zip code, mile radius, when we have a client, we go to their zip code, do a 100-mile radius, look at how many listings are used on Auto Trader, how many listings are used on cars.com, and look at totals and see if inventory levels are going up or down. So inventory levels are kind of getting soft. Dealers are getting real aggressive on their pricing because the traffic's been soft in the last few weeks. We hit this wall. We got shoppers out there looking for 17s. We got shoppers out there waiting for tax season. Don't give up on your follow-up. Make sure you stay aggressive on these prices because you don't want to have to be dumping a bunch of aged cars in March and April when hopefully this stuff comes back. Jake said, hard time finding the right inventory, meet the demands that people want. We try to stay away from auction. Yeah, and that's the hard part. I did a video a while back is, stocking cars you have sometimes very little control over, because you can't control what you're trading for a lot of times. I mean, at all. The only thing you do have control, Dan Winchester, if he's listening to this, he pointed out, he called me up and said, dealers do have some control of their inventory because they can decide to wholesale a car or not. So yeah, you can decide to get rid of a car, but you can't go in the morning and say, I'm going to appraise 10 cars, bring in 8 of them, and they're all going to have good day supply, and I'm going to buy them cheap. You're going to get stuck with some stuff. And you can shop the auction as much as you want, come up with 200 cars that you want to buy or 50 cars that you want to buy, and everybody outbids you, and then you end up buying some of the things that you need. So as much as stocking as you can, pay attention to that. But I do hope the second half opens up. The economy was going strong until the stock market shake up. So that's the other thing going on. You know, the stock market balancing up, or what some people say, you know, getting back to norm. That stuff's kind of shaking people up. The big tax checks, you know, hopefully next year, but a lot of people may be getting some returns, but it's delayed last year. It's delayed this year, and everybody's just kind of soft right now. So stay firm. Get a long-term follow-up. Do go ahead and get aggressive with price. Always be a buyer, okay? You can say, well, in a month from now, I'll be paying too much for these cars. I'll be, you know, why dump it now for this price, and I'm going to need it, you know, in a month from now at that price. But always be buying at market values and selling at market values. Get this inventory turning. Don't get aged cars going in. Advice coming to respond. Thanks, Jake. And then Mike, inventory very clean. Good job. Aggressive, keep turning going. 160, 96 January. Good job there, Mike. And I know you guys, like I said, we talked a couple months ago. I'd like to still talk to you guys a little bit. But yeah, everybody's hit this wall. If you guys are hitting it, it's not everybody's doing it. I'm seeing in multiple, like I said, we talked to over 100 dealerships, all different regions, all different franchise types, independents, and everybody's kind of just chugging along here, and hoping that second half picks up. Usually shopper counts are heavier in February. We trend that out too. You look at autotraderyourcars.com, you look at these shopper counts, January, February, March tend to go up each month, or pretty much the same. Well, right now we're seeing shopper counts lower this February than January. Most markets look at it. You can backdate, go in your auto trader, look at shopper counts up a year ago, January, and then January goes way up from December, like 20, 30, 40% more shoppers in January. And then February usually is a little bit higher, but at least the same. And March is, again, usually a little bit higher, or just a little bit less than February. But this is that peak of shopper counts, and we're seeing less February shoppers than normal. And all these markets too. Everyone I'm looking at now, it's mid-month. If it's still the same way next week, I'll really get worried and get these dealerships getting aggressive and turning this inventory. But if you're hitting a wall, a lot of dealerships are anyways, you're not out of the norm. And again, keep your head down, get aggressive, turn in inventory, don't let it age. Do your 60, 90, 120 plus follow-up. Don't give up on these December, January internet leads. Keep them in your pipeline, keep following up, and get the sales in March and April. So I hope this is helpful. A little bit longer this time, but I think it was due because, like I said, it's been weird. Thanks, Mike. And give me a call, 314-568-2754. If you want a free evaluation, go to Lotpop. We do free evaluation. Anytime I do that, give you just insight of what you do with your inventory. No catch, nothing trying to sell you anything. But free evaluation at lotpop.com. Also, YouTube channel. Subscribe to us. I upload these on the YouTube channel, and I try to do other tips and stuff on there too at Lotpop Inc. and LotPartyShow.com. I have a podcast and all that on there. So hopefully this is helpful. And Eddie, see you, man. Thanks. Talk to you later.